All right, guys, welcome to our first video in our Aviom training. Welcome to the team. If this is your first time joining, we're glad you're here. And if you've been on the team for a long time and you're just wanting to figure out why your in-ear mix sucks and how to get it better, this is a great way to do that. I'm going to give you all my secrets. I'm going to get you to the place where every single week, I really believe you guys are going to have, every single person on stage is going to have banging mixes. And it's super easy to get there. You just have to know the right way to get there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is give you a quick overview of the Aviom if you've never used it. Just a kind of very, very quick buttons, like you're just thrown into this, like how do I just hear things very quickly? And throughout each other video, we'll go deeper and deeper. So for this first video, let's talk about this master volume right here. And the master volume, it says it in the name, it controls all the volume coming out of the Aviom. Now, the only difference is if you are a vocalist and you have a wireless pack, this knob is not going to do anything for you. Your physical knob on your pack is what's going to be your master volume. Now, regardless of if you have a pack or if you have an Aviom, I want you to always have your master volume at 75%. So if you want to just double check that you are actually using the right knob, well, go ahead and play some music, or play something on your instrument and turn it down and hear if you're actually hearing sound, which we can do right now. So you can see how it got quieter and louder. So let's put that back at 75%. And so the next thing I want to talk about is A-net. This is what tells me in the back if you are actually getting signal. So if you see that this has a little red light, you're good to go. If you ever come and this red light isn't lit up, or it like looks gray, like one of these other gray dots, that means your Aviom isn't getting any signal. Now here's the danger. If you click, you'll still see other things have red dots, but that doesn't mean you're getting signal. You have to look up here and make sure that you have A-net. We do a lot of changes to our setup a lot, and sometimes things don't get plugged in correctly. That's my fault. I will make sure that doesn't happen again. But if it does ever happen, look here. If you have a red light, you know that something else is the problem, and we can just kind of move on from that. So master volume, A-net, and the next thing I want to do is I'm going to walk us through, this is what a typical weekend looks like. If you ever play for a special event or something bigger or different, this is going to probably look a little bit different. I usually change the labels for those, but for our purposes, I'm just going to stick to our basic mix. This is how it is most weeks, so this is what you're going to be used to. So the first thing I want to talk about is the drums. That's going to be the kick drum, the snare drum, the overhead mics, the toms. Now for drummers and for the worship leaders, every week I want you guys to know that you can adjust that mix. If you listen to something, you're like, oh, you know what? The low tom is too loud, or the high tom's too quiet, or the snare's too loud, or the kick's too quiet. You can tell us in the backs, and we can adjust that mix for you. The next instrument is the bass. That's the bass guitar. This stands for acoustic guitar. This stands for electric guitar 1. This is electric guitar 2. Keys is another way of saying piano. The synths also come from the keys. Then there's the click, which is our metronome. There's our loop. That's our backing tracks that we listen to. And then Vox 1 through Vox 5. Now, Extra 1 and Extra 2, these are kind of like special channels that we have there just as kind of a backup if there's ever an instrument that I don't want to have to repatch the entire Aviom for. Usually it ends up being like a violin, or sometimes we have like an extra click, or maybe we even have like a second acoustic guitar, There's a lot of things it could be. It's just an easy way for me in the back and the producers in the back to be able to give you what you need very quick without having to like relabel every single Aviom and repatch every single Aviom individually. We could just throw it in there and you click that button and you know it's in there. A lot of the times the MD mic is in there as well. And then this last channel over here, SPK, that stands for speaker, and COMP, that stands for computer. Now this is where the producer and the sound guy, that's where they're going to come from. Also, that's where the computer music is going to come from the back. So if you're ever on stage and you see the videos playing, you should actually be able to hear those videos in your ears through the speaker comp channel. So that's a really, really quick kind of overlay of the Aviom. If you just want to, how do I get sound? I wouldn't stop here because it's still going to sound trash and it's still going to sound bad. And speaking of it sounding trashy and bad, I want to show you guys what I've actually heard multiple times when I come up to fix in-ears, or even when I kind of just listen in to what you guys are listening to. Yes, I can do that. This is probably what your mix sounds like. It's not very good, and there are a lot of problems. Now, the good news is, I'm glad you're here, because I'm going to show you, I'm going to take that mix itself, and I'm going to make it sound 100% better. It's going to be really, really cool. You're not going to want to miss it. So please watch all the videos, watch them in order. Don't skip to the end. If you skip, I promise you're just going to be more confused, and you're either going to hate me or you're going to hate yourself when you're back up there and you have no idea what you're doing and it sounds like that. So watch all the videos, take your time, watch them multiple times. I promise this will really, really help you in the future, even as an individual player for sure. So we'll see you guys in the next one.